Rob, Cam Newton re-signed by the Patriots. Now, it came out that the deal was $14 million. It's a one-year deal, $14 million, but it's a $5 million base. So he's got his $5 million. And then $9 million in incentives,
right.
Playoffs, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, MVP,
well,
stuff like that. Well,
it's better than last year. Didn't he only make $1 million?
Oh, yes, much better than last year.
It was only $1 million, I think, Chris, if I was remember.
So are you surprised? I mean, this was the big news of the morning, and I do think it caught most people off guard.
Not totally, because I had heard that Bill Belichick, and we heard it during the season, like the results weren't there, Chris, but you got to admit, Bill was talking about his work ethic and all the stuff, and remember, Cam had success against Bill's defense before when he played against them. So he had a lot of respect for Cam and what he was able to do. And I'm not making excuses. The results weren't there. Chris, early on in the season, if you remember Seattle, we talked about it. He had a chance.
They were at one play from being 2-1.
Yes. Yeah. They had and that would have been a big win on the road against Seattle early on in the season before we knew Seattle's defense wasn't that good. But it would have been a really good, big win, and it didn't happen. He was stopped at the 1 yard line. But the point is, there were some moments when we thought, okay, like Cam, this is okay. This is all right, working. Right. And then he got COVID, came back, and was just awful, was just bad. But I never believed like the door was totally closed. But we had talked to Christian Fourier, and up there in Boston, the former tight end, right? He played for them. He won a couple Super Bowls with them.
With the Patriots.
He's plugged in with the Patriots. Right. And Chris,
he was plugged in. I don't know if he's plugged in anymore.
He was as confident as anything when we had him on. I don't know, Lee, do we have the sound or we didn't find it?
No? Lee, he didn't get it?
Okay.
He came on our show, Rob. What was it? Actually, it was probably right around after the Super Bowl because he come on the gloat and all that. And he assured us that Cam Newton would not only not be with the Patriots, but he said he'd be out of the league, right?
Out of the league. That was the one that me and you were like, what? Like, there's no spot for him. There's only how many quarterbacks, Chris? 32. There's 3 quarterbacks for the most part on every team. So say maybe not every team, 75 quarterbacks or something like that, or 80 quarterbacks.
Roughly, right.
He couldn't get one of those jobs? Like he couldn't be on one of those?
I think I don't think there's anybody in the NFL even that would say Cam Newton is not one of the best 30 quarterbacks in the league, Rob, to be honest. But teams are in different places. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
And so some teams, they're young, they're rebuilding. They don't necessarily want to bring him in. And I think other teams, Rob, obviously he could be a very good backup. But I think teams don't feel like Cam, at least yet, sees himself as a backup. You know what I mean? Where he's just
I get
accepted.
That, but if there's no job for you, I mean, sometimes you got to stick around. I get it. But I thought he would be around. I didn't think he was totally out in New England. A lot of people did. And to a big surprise, he's back. And Chris, maybe it's just because the two, needed each other. Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, I do. I think it's two desperate entities that need each other. They looked around. Well, Cam, I don't think was looking around. But the Patriots, I believe, right? We saw the reports. They want Garoppolo. But remember, the 49ers had come out and said, Garoppolo's our quarterback next year. Now, people don't seem to believe that. And, yeah, if they can get a Deshaun Watson, then I'm sure they'd make that switch. But otherwise, they're probably sticking with Garoppolo, and they probably let the Patriots know, look, you're not getting him, period. So you might as well look elsewhere. And I think the Patriots, they may continue to look, Rob, there are reports that this won't stop them from looking for a quarterback. They may draft one. I think they have the 16th pick. They may draft one in the draft. And that would make sense, actually. Because Cam, be your guy next year. If you draft, say, Mac Jones out of Alabama or whoever, he can kind of learn, for a year. And maybe he's your guy after that. But I just think that the Patriots could not find a viable solution at quarterback elsewhere, and that they went ahead and got Cam. And I agree with you. I mean, I don't think Belichick is a BS guy. Like whether people like him or not,
he has no reason
right?
to.
Right.
He has no reason to. I'm with you. There's no reason. Like, he doesn't owe Cam anything.
Absolutely.
What does he owe him? He didn't owe him
What
anything.
does he get from complimenting Cam Newton?
Nothing.
No, he didn't compliment Tom Brady for the most part. So he could say what he wants, and he chose. I do think Cam was a tremendous leader for that team. I mean, they named him a captain, Rob. He hadn't even hardly been there, and they named him a team captain. You saw the stories about how guys just gravitated to him. I think his personality, people can talk about the way he dresses and all that, but I bet he's a lot of fun as a teammate. He's probably loose. I think he works hard, and, people just respect him for the athletic specimen he is and what he's done, even though he's obviously on the decline, but what he's done.
And what he's come back from. Let's just be honest, Chris. His shoulder was separated, right? Well, didn't he had shoulder surgery, so he's had to come back, and maybe they believe, okay, this will be he had the full year back. Maybe the second year that shoulder will be better. You know what I mean? Because it struggled throwing the football.
He has struggled throwing the football. And I'll say this, and this is not an excuse for him, because maybe it didn't have much impact at all on him. But COVID hits different people different ways. We heard Jason Tatum, the great, player for the Boston Celtics, he had COVID. And he said that this was a couple weeks ago, but he said to that point, it was close to a month later, he still was having problems at times with his breathing. Like at times during a game, he'd be fatigued or have trouble breathing, and it was related to COVID. And so I don't know. It's possible that COVID really took a lot out of Cam. Even if it didn't knock him out, it may have taken a lot out of him. Maybe that's why he never was the same after he came back from it. But I'm not trying to make an excuse for him. And Rob,
Neither
last
am
year, right?
I'm not either.
Right. Last year, I picked him to lead them to the playoffs. I'm not expecting much. I don't expect. I thought Cam would really have a good year last year. He obviously didn't. I don't expect that this year. I think this is, like I said, a marriage of convenience. The Patriots still need a quarterback. They were 7-9. Maybe Belichick thinks, look, they will be more adjusted to Cam, right? They'll be able to craft an offense that's even more suited for him. He will know the system better. They'll get some of their guys back that they lost last year. They got some money to spend.
6 guys opted out, remember? I'm not an excuse, but 6 guys. I think 4 of the 6 were starters who opted out.
Yes. And I'm not picking them for the playoffs at this early date. I like Buffalo and Miami in that division, obviously. But it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? If he just is a game manager who can score at the goal line and, makes a few plays for you here and there, and if their defense is strong, which obviously is Belichick's strong suit, it's not impossible. I'm not picking them again, but that's what I see it as, Rob. A marriage of convenience. I'd be surprised if Cam came out and played really well. But you are right. He started the season well, and he was actually one of the talking points in the league, remember, early on.
Yes, early on. You remember it was like, hey, you know what? They're not that bad. They're not that bad. And then they didn't win that game in Seattle. He got COVID, missed a couple weeks, and it just went down the other way. What did they finish winning, Chris? 7 games or 6?
7-9, which,
So it was 7-9.
Yeah,
I mean,
7-9 isn't not absolutely horrible.
Can you flip 3 of those games? Can you flip 2 or 3? You flipped 2 or 3 from a year ago, and now all of a sudden, what are you, 9-7?
Yeah.
If you flip 2 games.
Yep. And they
it
had
ain't like you got to flip a million games,
Right. Look, they beat the Chargers 45-0.
Right.
The Chargers, who weren't very good, but still.
That cost Anthony Lynn his job probably. That game
Yeah. So we'll see. Remember, they beat Baltimore, too. 23-17 when Baltimore was in their swoon. So, all right, we're throwing it out to you guys. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Can Cam step it up for the Patriots and make them playoff contenders this year? I don't expect much. Rob, what you expecting? You think playoffs?
I don't know. I got to see him
year?
again. Yeah, I'm right now I can't say I know what he's going to be, but I will say playoffs. Right now, yeah, playoffs would be pretty tough to predict right now.
Well, my thing, Rob, and I'm not mocking Cam at all. I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm not going to get hyped because I know he's motivated. We heard him on the Brandon Marshall podcast, our colleague here at Fox Sports 1. He doesn't want to go out like, the way he did after playing last year. But it's not about talk. I mean, last summer, Cam was, the lion's about to roar. It's only one king of the jungle, and I'm that, all that stuff. And it doesn't matter. I'm not ripping him. I'm just saying all you have to do is go out and prove it on the field. The talk, all that, the workouts, the impressive weightlifting and all that, that's not what's going to impress people. You have to go out and get it done on the field. So we will see. But you guys, 877-99 on Fox, what do you expect from Cam Newton this season?
Let's kick it off with Mark in Sacramento. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
What's going on, gentlemen? Happy Flashback Friday.
Yes. How are you?
What's up, man?
Doing good. I don't know how I really feel about this. I think that I don't think New England could get anybody to come there, number one. I think they tried. And
it
I
also
think they
tells
didn't
you
have,
about Stidham, doesn't it, Mark? I mean, obviously he's no
we know,
good.
yeah, he's nothing. We knew that last year, to be honest.
And they only gave him 1 year. I think they gave him just 1 year, right? So I think it's a stopgap to something else because I think that they didn't have much of a choice. They didn't have a lot of draft picks to give up to really go out and get into
the cupboard's bare.
Stuff. Yeah,
right. The cupboard's bare in New England. No doubt about it.
Exactly.
And let's keep it real. Whether you like Cam or not, could you justify giving him more than a year? I mean, really. I couldn't justify giving him more than a year.
No. That's what they gave him was fair. I mean, obviously he can't come back for $1 million.
I agree. He's still not very accurate. And you really don't know if that arm is really healed. You need to get him some more weapons. But, you don't know. And Cam's never been accurate anyway. So,
well, that's what
he can be effective, though. Right.
You keep hearing that they may, they've got $50 million to spend. They may go get weapons. They've rarely done that.
Thanks, Mark.
They did it a couple times for Brady, a couple times, but they wouldn't get Brady weapons this last year. That's why he left, So I'm not convinced they're going to go out and get some weapons. They need to if they're serious about trying to win, but I don't know about it.
Eric in Long Beach, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, E?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Just on my way to dinner for my birthday with my kids. So
happy birthday! Where you guys going?
We're going to some Chinese food restaurant. I don't know where they're taking me.
Okay, nice. That's great though, man. Nothing like family taking you out for a birthday meal.
That's right.
And you know what? Wait a minute, hold on, Eric. After you have dinner at the Chinese restaurant, on the way home, you could go to In-N-Out so you could be full. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
Go get
double animal style.
You know how it is, right? All right.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about the wild card and all of this. Last year, Cam was able to play without the benefit of fans. We all know that the Boston, New England area has a history of not treating, certain type of athletes correctly. And if he starts to struggle, talk radio and all of that stuff, it might affect the way that he might play. I don't know how you guys might feel about that.
Well, you're sugarcoating it, but Boston's had plenty of incidents. There's no doubt about it.
I think, look, I think just because fans weren't in the stands, I mean, they were on the radio. They were calling in, so I think it'll be fine. But you're right. I mean, we'll see. But I think he's strong enough mentally to get through that if that happens.
Enjoy your meal. Happy birthday again, Eric. We appreciate you. Ham. Yep, Ham in Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What's up, fellas? Happy Friday.
What up,
sir.
Ham?
What's up, guys? I think that this is a good thing for both parties. I feel like they didn't get a preseason together, and with the COVID thing, they missed a couple weeks together. I just feel like they can come in. I think the Patriots are going to be motivated. They're getting a lot of players back, and I think Bill Belichick is coming in a little hot that Tom won his little Super Bowl. So we're going to see something nice. I feel like they might go 11-5 in that division.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was
I think they're going to turn it around.
Are you a Patriots fan, Ham?
I'm a Packers fan, but I just know that Bill Belichick. I think he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I feel
when he wasn't cheating, yes, Ham, I agree.
Well, listen, I know he's a cheater, but sometimes if you can get ahead.
I'm just
who was it that said if you're not cheating, you're not
you
trying?
Ain't trying, right?
Who
but
said
my
that?
point is, but just make sure we keep that in there that he's a cheater. All right, Marty in Kentucky, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Marty?
What's up, fellas? Good to talk to you this Friday.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
What's up? I'm gonna jump right into it, guys. Got a few points I want to make. I think Cam's a solid player. I think that Belichick likes him. I think his body is too banged up for anything more than a year contract, and I really don't blame him for that. I don't think he got fair treatment compared to other quarterbacks when he was younger with getting protected because of his size and athleticism.
No, they let players
treat him
tee
like
off
a
on him.
fullback. Yeah.
They let players tee off on him.
He really took some hits, and I think Belichick is okay with being in the middle of the road right now because I think he believes he can find that next hidden gem quarterback in the draft. Because if you think about it, the last 5 years, a quarterback that he has drafted has been in the Super Bowl. 11 of the last 20 years, a quarterback he's drafted in the Super Bowl. And if you look at the last 3 MVPs, Aaron Rodgers, picked 24th. Lamar Jackson, last pick of the first round.
Yep.
Pat Mahomes slipped 10th. They're still out there, and I think he thinks he's going to find one, and he's waiting for that.
No, you're right. I mean, Rob, we could go to Joe Montana.
There's a
obviously
list
Tom
of
Brady,
them.
as you said.
Right.
I mean, there's a ton of guys. Montana was a 3rd-round pick. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's no question about that. And you hear, look, Rob, we don't see these guys. We're not studying the tape on these quarterbacks.
We're not scouts. That's not what we do.
We watch them, but we're putting a lot of what guys are saying into it. And some guys really like Mac Jones. Who would have thought Brady would have become what he did? So I'm not saying Mac Jones will be that, but you never know. So we will see. But